We're a couple of weeks on from Tim Tszyu's victory over Jeff Horn in Townsville, but there's still controversy and a bit of confusion surrounding the stoppage of that fight. I'm joined now by one of Jeff Horn's cornermen, Adam Copland, who was in the corner that night and actually made the decision with the referee Phil Austin to stop the fight. Adam, talk me through, in your words, the end of that fight, those last couple of minutes, and your decision to eventually step in.
From about round 5 or 6 onwards, there was discussion in the corner between Ben Horn, Stephen Edwards and myself. We said, I think this is going to have to be stopped soon, And it got to the point when he came back after round 8 where Stephen Edwards and I had decided he's not going out for another round. Glen didn't agree. As soon as we got in the ring, he asked the fighter, Jeff Horn, he asked him a question you should never ask a fighter. Any good trainer knows you don't ask a fighter, do you want to go back out? Because either one, he's going to lie to you and say yes, because that's what a fighter does, and then he's going to go out, he's going to get hurt even more. Or he's going to say 2, no, and then everyone's going to make out like he's a quitter. He should never be put in that position. And that's when I said, Ben, he's had enough. I'm talking to Ben because I know Glen. I could say to Glen all I want, he's not going to listen. I'm saying, Ben, he's had enough. And then Phil Austin came over. He was obviously looking to see if Jeff was okay, doing his job, which I think he did well. And that's when I waved to him saying, no more, mate. And then he stopped the fight.
What was the immediate reaction to your stopping the fight? Was there any backlash at all, or people saying it was a good decision?
There was zero backlash from anyone, including Jeff's family, including Jeff, including anyone that I spoke to. Around Zarafa 1, it was a pretty big wake-up call because we were all pretty heartbroken that we didn't stop it earlier and things went the way they did. So we just said to each other, we'll never let that happen again between us. To be honest, no one trusted Glen, so it was a conversation between Jeff's old man, Jeff Senior. He said to me after that fight, he said, mate, if you ever feel like you need to stop the fight. He said, don't feel like you're stepping on anyone's toes.
So we can say that as far back as the Zarafa 1 fight, which was over a year ago now, that there were some misgivings between sort of you and Jeff's dad and other guys in the corner that you didn't fully have the trust of, in Glenn Rushton to make those calls?
I myself did not have any trust that Glen would ever stop a fight when it needed to be stopped. His ego's too big. It's all about him and his one punch can change the fight. Well, one punch can change the fight for your side, but it can also get someone killed. So I can speak for myself. I did not trust Glenn Rushton after that fight.
He said that you were concussed and went to the hospital the next morning. Obviously, you fought on the undercard. Is that true?
Mate, that is the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. I went to hospital the next morning because I was dehydrated from making weight. I was obviously of sound mind because I was the only one on the apron trying to stop it, along with Steve Edwards.
We saw that Glen wanted Jeff to keep going against Terrence Crawford. He didn't stop the Zarafa 1 fight, and even in the Zarafa 2 fight, probably could have been stopped before Jeff landed that overhand right on Michael's chin. So that's obviously a factor here as well, that it's happens over and over again.
The fighters you won't see, the amateurs, the other pros that Glen's had that have just should have been stopped way before they were. Should never have been in with fighters they were in with just because of Glen's ego and his, like Paul Kent said, his amateurism. It's just a long history. Then you get to the Tim Tszyu fight and that just speaks for itself. You all saw what happened there. He said Jeff's in the best shape since Pacquiao. He says he's ready to go. He's this, he's that. He looks awesome. Jeff gets out there. He doesn't have his best night. Tim Tszyu, awesome fighter. It's just not Jeff's day. That's just the way it is. It's no one's to blame. It's just not Jeff's day. And then he goes and proceeds, blames everybody else, blames the new strength conditioning trainer, blames this, blames that. Mate, I could go on forever about Glenn Rushton, but he speaks for himself. It's dangerous what he does with these fighters.
And just finally, just wanted to stress that, you and I spoke just probably about an hour after the Tim Tszyu loss, and you didn't want to say anything. You didn't want to throw Glen under the bus. I just wanted to make it clear that you're only saying, coming out now and saying it because of what Glen has been putting out there.
100%, mate. I've known him for 10 years. I've held my tongue a long time. And even like you said, straight after that Tim Tszyu fight, we spoke. I said, mate, I'm not going to throw Glenn Rushton under the bus. And it shows his character by what he did and the things he said about everyone else in the team that genuinely care for Jeff, that genuinely love Jeff, love his family, and don't want to see him be hurt. I honestly don't believe he should be training fighters anymore. And it's sad to say, but fighters' health needs to come first. It really does. And fighters die in this sport. There's a lot of good trainers out there that have had fighters die in their arms after the ring. And for trainers that are bad like that and going to put their fighters at risk because of their own ego, they shouldn't be in the sport.